All right, Shalom Alkims. It's your brother Barak. Welcome back to another one. Today's prayer probably all about Sham Shy. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory being to the Father and the Son, Yahawah, Barak Sham, Yahawashi. Double honor sales and apostles of the great millstone, who rule the time in his truth. And a sincere salutation to the brother pushing his word through truth and sincerity, sniping and to do so. All right. I'm the brother Barak. Come back here. Another one to the spirit and prophecy all about Sham Shy. And to the spirit and prophecy all about Sham Shy. Yeah, the spirit prophecy about Shimei Shai. I just wanted to go into this article that I came across. I think it's pretty relevant to what's going on currently in this point in time in America, man. And a lot of these Edomites, okay, especially these higher ups, that pay attention to economic statuses. They pay attention to the state of the country, where it's heading, what the future could look like. They know that this place is running on fumes, man. Okay, and that's why you have articles like this coming out. It's not even just articles like this, but on all platforms, man. Okay, people are having podcasts, debates, discussions on the current state of America, where it's gonna head, and what's currently going on. And a lot of these people have, to what I've seen, man, have accepted their fate, man. Okay, they have accepted their fate. Okay, you have inflation in all markets: housing, cars, uh, shipping and handling, everything. Man, it's crazy. Even the stock market, everything is just outrageous right now. Okay, and it can't stay like this, man, because this shit is in an unnatural order. Right? This shit is in an unnatural order, and it can't stay like this. It's unsustainable. All right. It says historian warns of major signs of another dark age and collapse of an empire. Okay, which every empire has collapsed, man. The only, not even just only Americans, but every empire that existed on planet Earth, man, that was contrary unto the Lord, believed that they were gonna go until the end. Like, I mean, forever. You know what I mean? The only kingdom that's going to go in forever or be everlasting is the kingdom of heaven. All right. Every empire has had the pride or the illusion that they were going to last forever. All right. It says, in sobering reflection of history and present moment, historian Victor Davis Hansen argues that Western civilization may be showing unmistakable signs of entering a new period of decline reminiscent of past dark ages, drawing parallels to earlier civilization that once flourished and later unrevealed. Hansen suggests that the West has experienced a convergence of cultural, economical, and demographical failures that it left unchecked could cause history to repeat itself, not in rooting alarmism, but historical patterns that show how civilizations often collapse gradually before the fall becomes undeniable. One of the most significant indicators of decline, according to Henson, is the dramatic collapse in birth rates across Europe and North America. Okay, and we already told you guys about that, man. Through the spirit, the brothers have been speaking on this. One sign of a civilization or society, or however you want to put it, man. The one sign that they're on the decline is no low birth rates, man. Okay, because when you have low birth rates, it's a sign of lack of economic structure. It's a sign of divide among the people. Okay, and the scriptures talk about this, man. Okay, a nation cannot be divided and still stand. The scriptures literally tell us about this. Okay, so again, man, this is why a lot of people are coming to the realization that we're in those times, man. Okay, we are in those times. All right. Let me see if I can. All right. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. It says, and he cried mighty and strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. Hold of every soul, foul spirit, and cage that is unclean and hateful bird. Verse 3. For all the nations have drunken of her wine, the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. That means that they've done business. Okay? and by done business, they have adopted the doctrine or ideology of America, and that's why everybody else is falling with America. Everybody's economic state is effed up. Everybody's population of people, their minds are poised. Okay, and this is the reason why, because they followed the steps and the ways of America. Okay, and if you guys think that America's not Babylon, look at all the countries that don't follow or doing the same things or have different laws in America. Those countries are, even though we're at the end times, those countries are still flourishing to some degree. Those countries have high satisfaction rates when the people live in there. Okay, the people are well more structured. They're more law under law abiding citizens. Okay, they're more in check. They're more in tuned with what's going on. They're not blind to the luxuries and the doctrines that go on in your everyday lives, man. They're literally more structured. They're minimalistic. They're more real. They're not in the illusion, man. Okay? You go to any civilization on earth right now that is not in the ways of America, okay? Even slightly deviating from America, okay? They're literally in reality. And then you go, I dare you to go bring up some shit that's going on here in America. Like, oh, America's teaching kids sodomite behaviors. America has school shootings. They're gonna look at you like, what the hell? Like, what's going on in that country? That country's weird. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And you can't tell me America's not Babylon, man. Okay? Every country that doesn't operate in America to some degree, they're literally in reality. They will tell you, nah, that ain't right. Nah, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You ask anybody here in America, oh, it's normal. It's this. Yeah, it's not right, but it's whatever. It says, and her merchants of the earth are waxed rich through her abundance and delicacies. What nations have waxed rich off America? Okay, continuously. All the nations of the earth have waxed rich off America. Okay? And if it is in America directly, it's a product of America. All right? It says, verse 4, it says, and I heard another voice of heaven, from heaven, saying, come out of her, my people, that ye may not be partakers of her sin, and that ye may not receive her plagues. Slakia. That's obviously talking about Israel. Okay? And that's why we do these videos, man, because we're over here trying to wake up the elect. We're over here giving insight. We're over here giving insight and the truth. Okay? We're over here giving insight and the truth on what the hell is going on. Okay? We're over here giving you the truth and the insight of what's going on. Okay? And a lot of you people are gonna get it till it's too late. When them Humvee trucks is in your streets, you can't buy or sell. You're in a FEMA camp. That's when you're gonna realize, oh shit, those guys were talking about the truth. Those guys were telling us to get right. That's when you're gonna understand. That's when you're finally gonna get it. Okay? Verse 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto the heaven, and Yahawah have remembered her iniquities. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she have filled to her, double. Verse 7, how much have she glorified herself and lived deliciously? America's delicious, man. They waxed rich off the whole earth. They've stole every nation's natural resource, whether oil, wood, diamonds, fruits, spices. It don't matter what it is. Labor, free labor, okay, gold, silver, every type of resource. America has waxed rich off every nation, man. Okay, all these nations are finally getting it, man. It says fertility levels in many Western nations have dropped far below replacement rates. Exactly, and that's why you guys are seeing in a lot of in population rates isn't an issue outside of Western nations, guys. You go anywhere out of America, Canada, England, Australia, the UK, all these Western nations, right? You go anywhere out of those places, their population and fertility rates are booming. Esau even tries to go into those nations like Africa, Brazil, or South America in general and tries to sterilize those women to literally stop them from populating, man. You can go Google this, man. Free information. All right. They've already tried that. Okay. And you already know why Western culture is like that. Oh, you only have one life to live. Individualism, capitalism, all these. Again, that's all the ideas of America: capitalism and individualism. Okay, one life and do whatever those will. You know, that is all. First of all, propaganda of Satan, but it's a Western ideology, man. All right. It says if fewer young people enter society and economic burden, the future generations increase while the innovation and productively suffer. Slovakia. Hansen emphasizes that no civilization has seen long-term demographic contraction without experiencing serious consequences, which is what immigration. Okay, people, the government having to compensate for the lack of the population. Okay, which they use other methods besides immigration as well, but you know they'll have to come out of pocket and offer more housing. It takes more out of the government, and it just using more money, using more resources to get people to comply and make what they would call more slaves, man. It says alongside demographic decline, the West faces mounting financial instability. Government debt has surged in unprecedented levels and often driven expensive entitlement programs, unchecked spending, and political reluctance to confront fiscal reality. Okay, and that's what we're just talking about. They have going to use other means, so more resources, which is more money, obviously, because you need money to do anything, and then they're going to obviously implement immigration policies where they can allow different cultures in. And this all happens in Western countries, which is actually starting to happen in other countries besides West. Okay, because they're starting to experience it now. You could actually go on the news and start realizing and looking, man. Okay, all right, all the way down. I was doing some research on Ireland, man. They're experiencing a massive immigration problem, man. They're over there tweaking, or the Edomites just tweaking over there because Ireland's having population issues as well. Okay, which they're a Western country as well, man. They're part of the EU and shit. All right, they're with that shit too. You already know they're fucking expensive over there too. But they had to do the immigration scheme, man. Importing them East Indians and them Somalians and all that shit, man. They already did that shit in Canada and America and all that. That's why this shit is cooked, man. All right, this shit is cooked. It says Hansen warns that such debt does not merely represent numbers of the balance sheet, but reflects a moral and political failure to safeguard the future when its states prioritize short-term comfort over long-term stability. The erode public trust has weakened their ability to respond to crises. All right. Verse 7, it says, so much torment and sorrow give her, for saith in her heart, aka her mind, your heart is your mind, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire, ICBM nuclear missiles, for strong is the Lord who judgeth her. The Lord is judging America. All these things that are going on, guys. America is being judged by the Lord currently. The Lord is running through America, man. Okay, and it's turning into a global problem because you guys have followed the ways of America. You think their laws are perfect. You think the way they live life is perfect, and that's why all you guys are suffering at the same hand that America is, man. Okay, the Lord is coming to judge the whole earth, not just America. All right. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 55 says, because the Lord power hath spoiled Babylon and destroyed out of her the great voice when her waves do roar in great waters and noise of their utterly. I think it was Slovakia. Yeah. All right. So the Lord is destroying Babylon, man. The Lord's spirit is pretty much against Babylon. All right. And that's why these leaders keep making all these, like, why they keep doing this and they're doing that shit on purpose, man. They're trying to collapse this shit, man. Okay, they want their new world order. They want they want you under their their control. All right. They're tired of fucking giving you all these programs and having to fix you guys 24/7. They just want to reset this shit and be over with it, man. Okay, they're over this shit. Okay, these Edomites, they're over it. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are over here Every single time. Y'all over here. Oh, the government used to help us, and da, 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 da. You guys have all this faith in them. The whole time they're over there trying to scheme, trying to take y'all down, man. They're trying to take y'all down. They see it's you against them. All right, this shit is over with, man. That's why these articles keep coming out, these news thing, and that's why it's always a topic of the America collapsing, this market, that market, because man, they know what's coming, man. All these CEOs want to resign. You know what I mean? All the CEOs want to resign. Nobody wants to work no more. Everybody is depressed and stressed and all this, man. Why do you think that is? Because we're at the end. This always happens at the end. All right? So hopefully you guys are edified through the Spirit and power of Sham. I'm going to give all praise and glory to the Father and Son, Yahawah Sham Yashai. Till next time, I'm going to say Shalom.